The mystery behind Zoro's scarred eye was planned from the very beginning. Oda even told his mentor Nobuhiro Watsuki about it shortly after One Piece began serialization. However, in a 2021 interview, Watsuki admitted that he didn't know the reason and asked Oda why Zoro became one-eyed. To which Oda replied, nothing. He didn't reply at all, and he decided to save that surprise for another day. But Zoro's scar has been planned since day one. Now here's 55 other things that you probably didn't know about Zoro. His overall design along with Luffy and Nami were locked in very early on by Oda, and Zoro himself was used as the template for the protagonist Ryuma in Oda's one-shot manga named Monsters. The crazy thing here is that Monsters is actually part of the One Piece canon, thus I suppose making it chapter 0, or because a chapter 0 already exists, a chapter -1. With Zoro himself being a descendant of Ryuma, and his final attack against King during Wano is a direct reference to Ryuma slaying the dragon in Monsters. Zoro's heritage is it's a little bit tricky though, but what's even more confusing is his sword heritage. Zoro inherited the Wado Ichimonji, which was made by Shimotsuki Kozaburo, who also crafted Enma, a blade which Zoro also ended up with. However, he had to trade Shusui to get it, which was the sword used by his ancestor Ryuma. In total, Zoro has used 12 blades across the course of One Piece, with the most devastating by far being Hana Arashi, the improvised Usopp fusion sword, which is literally named Nose Storm. And you know, funnily enough, Zoro may have named this creation after his own father, because his name is Roanoa Arashi, a man who tragically died fighting against pirates and perhaps contributed to Zoro's early series hatred of pirates. We also know Zoro's grandfather, who is called Roanoa Pin Zoro, which is something you may never find out if you're an anime only watcher, because they don't tend to adapt information like this,